What's up, dudes? Lady dudes. Welcome back to Just Nuts. As you can tell, I'm not John. John is actually away right now. Asked me to help him out with some videos today. So the new Fire Fist of the Gadget cards list got revealed, and the effects and things like that. So I'm about to jump into it, and bear with me, guys. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing as well as John, but yeah. So let's just hop right into it. So first here for the new gadget cards, we are going to be going over. So the first one here is Boot Up Corporal Command Dynamo. It's an Earth Machine level 4. 0 attack, 2000 defense. Got a big booty on her. Effect reads, you can target up to 2 machine gadget monsters you control or in your graveyard with different names. That's the cost. Special summon this card from your hand, then equip those targets to this card regardless of their type. You can only use this effect once per turn, and it gains 1000 attack for each monster equipped to this card by this effect. So to start out with that, that's pretty... from what I can see, they're just kind of making it a union here. And basically, if you can get the 2 onto it, you're making this boy 2000 right off the bat. So we'll see if they can, I guess, special summon them from being equipped. Maybe like Insectors or something like that. Next one here, we have an Boot Up Admiral Dynamo Destroyer. It's an Earth Machine level 8, 2500. Decent stat line to it. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summoned from your hand by sending 2 gadget monster cards in your hand or face up on your field to the graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while you control a gadget monster or a gadget monster card equipped to a monster. Once per turn, you can target one other card on the field and destroy it. So it's kind of interesting here because based on the first one, as long as you can get that one out, you can special summon this one out from hand, and then, you can use the 2 equips, take them off, and then special summon this one out. You have one on field, It's pretty interesting there. And it's got a targeting destruction once per turn. Pretty nice to it. Let's see what else we got here. Boot Up Command Gear Load. It's a continuous spell card. When this card is activated, you can target any number of gadget monster cards you control that are equipped to a monster and special summon them. See, this is what I'm talking about, special summoning them out here. You can discard 1 card and add 1 Dynamo Destructora from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of once per turn, and you can only activate 1 per turn. So that's actually pretty interesting because this works in tandem with the card previously, Dynamo Destroyer. So that means that you can use the first one, use the the continuous spell here, and then you can special summon the 2, and then you can add one of the destroyers, and then that way you can just get a free summon off of it. So it's kind of like these 3 cards kind of work in tandem with each other about, spamming field, which is pretty nice, but it does require you to have at least 2 in graveyard or 2 on field to start. So it's more for a mid-game spam rather than a first-game spam, unless you can dump, your gadgets to grave pretty fast. Let's see what else we got here. Boot Up Command Gear Strength. It's a normal trap card. When either player's monster declares an attack and all monsters you control are face-up machine monsters, minimum of 1, destroy attack position monsters your opponent controls up to the number of machine monsters you control. So it's kind of interesting here. It's a little bit of a battle trap here that does have some positives to having a spam field, which is pretty cool. All monsters you control. So it doesn't work with if you have them equipped, which is kind of interesting. So it requires you to have the machine monsters on field, and not the equips, which is pretty good because, if you have your equips, you can kind of, have two of them out, with like 4 equip cards, and then pop 7 or like pop 6. That's kind of busted, but it is kind of slow because it is requiring in the battle on the attack declaration. So I mean, it can't be used any other time. I don't know, kind of interesting. I probably wouldn't use it personally. Let's see what else we have here. Power Hold the Moving Battery. It's a continuous trap card. Cool. Special summon this card as an effect monster with a Machine Earth level 4, attack 0, defense 2000. Interesting. Then you can equip 1 Machine Gadget level 4 monster in your hand or deck to this card. This card is also still a trap. If special summoned this way, this card gains attack equal to double the attack of the monster equipped to this card by this effect. So that's pretty interesting. So I mean, you can use the vanilla gadgets if you're going to play like a pure gadget strategy and kind of equip them to that card to like get that attack boost on it. Pretty interesting. As for reprints, we are getting green gadget, red gadget, yellow gadget, gold and silver. So that's pretty cool. Gold and silver, as you know, are the classic. I think they were played in ABCs for a while. They basically just kind of special summon each other out. I think red, yellow, and green are the vanillas, I think. But yeah, so pretty interesting with gadgets. Kind of seems like they're trying to make them unions or like similar to ABCs, or maybe even a way to like work in tandem with ABCs. So kind of seems pretty cool. I'll definitely like to see like what people can come up with, or maybe like what John and I or Michael can come up with using these cards. So as for the Fire Fist, so this is what John's been waiting for. He's been super hyped about these Fire Fist cards. So we're going to spend a little bit more time with this. So the first card we have here is Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Ram. It's a Fire Beast Warrior, level 3, 800 attack, 200 defense. Pretty weak stats. When this card is normal summoned, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 fire formation spell or trap you control, and then set 1 fire formation spell or trap with a different name directly from your deck. So that's actually pretty cool. Right up there, it works with Tanky. If you use Tanky to get him out, normal summon him, discard a card, and then target Tanky, and then you can use any of the other fire formation spells or traps. That nets you more of advantage, which is pretty interesting there. It kind of gets you your fire formation cards faster, but not necessarily your monsters faster. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Fire Fist monster, you can set 1 fire formation with a name different to the cards in your graveyard directly from your deck. So a Shizuku-esque kind of thing where it requires you to have a different name than the cards in your graveyard. But if you use the Link 2, I think it's Eagle, you're not really going to have to pay costs for that, so you won't have any in your graveyard. So you can kind of put whatever you want on the field, like maybe another Tanky or something like that, something that's going to help net you advantage. So I kind of like this card. Stats are really weak, but it does have some pretty interesting effects with getting your fire formation spells and traps faster, which is really good, because I know the deck can be a little slow, but it's more spam slow than it is spell and trap slow, I would say. But I mean, so it's pretty interesting. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Elephant, Fire Beast Warrior, level 4, 1000 attack, 1800 defense. Decent stats, I guess. If it was flipped, it'd be a little bit better. I know John likes those beaters. If this card is normal special summon, you can send 1 face-up fire formation spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, and then special summon 1 Fire Fist monster from your hand, except Elephant. You can target 1 fire formation spell and trap card in your graveyard, and then shuffle it into the deck. Then you can add 1 level 5 or higher Fire Fist monster from your deck to your hand. And you can only use each effect once per turn. So that's actually pretty interesting. So this is part of what I was saying, like being able to spam the field. So like if you can normal or special summon Elephant, you can special summon another one by just sending one of the fire formation spell traps you control, which is really good. Because like Tanky, like I know it gives you the attack boost, but it's not really great. It's more of your searcher. So I mean, it's like that quick starter, which is really nice. And then you can search into Elephant. Elephant will net you another Fire Fist by sending Tanky. And then you can, in the same turn, target tanky and shuffle it into the deck, and then add a level 5 or higher. So that's actually pretty interesting. It does net you the advantage of getting Eagle faster, because Eagle is, the main play, because then you won't have to send your Fire Formation spell and traps to activate effects and things like that. So this does help you get into Eagle pretty fast, which is really good. I'd like this card, probably definitely a 3 of, in my opinion. Let's see, Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Panda. So Fire Beast Warrior, level 5, 2100 attack, 400 defense. This is a pretty good stat line here. First thing, Cyber Dragon, 2100. So that's pretty good. If you activate a Fire Formation spell or trap, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can special summon one Fire Fist monster from your graveyard. So that's actually pretty cool, because that is that's just a free summon of your monster and then another. So that's actually pretty good. I do like that. It does require you. I wonder if this is like similar to like Multi-Faker, because if you activate it to like search one, then if it's in your hand, can you special summon it from there, or would you not be able to? Kind of unclear on the way that works. I think it would work that way. So that could definitely be an interesting play there. And then if you have anything grave, you can just summon that. Pretty cool. Also go into your links faster. So I do like that a lot. I also like the stat line on this. If a Fire Fist monster you control will be destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can send one Fire Formation spell or trap your card you control to the graveyard instead. Pretty cool. A little bit of a protection there, but it only is by card effect and not by battle. I know some of them are pretty weak on stats, so battle might also be helpful there, but card effect works just fine too. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Eland. Fire Beast Warrior, level 6. This is the Ritual. 2400 attack, 2000 defense. You can Ritual summon this card with Formation de Fuego, Dome. And then you can discard one monster, set one Fire Formation spell or trap directly from your deck or graveyard. Pretty cool. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can send one Fire Fist or Fire Formation card you control to the graveyard, except a land, and then negate that effect. You can only use each effect once per turn. So I personally don't like this card. It's a ritual. I'm not really too big on rituals. It is kind of a easy summon, since I'm assuming that the ritual you would be summoning it is a Fire Formation card. So I mean, it would be easy to get to it. However, you'd have to have the ritual in hand first, obviously. I do think it's interesting that it's a quick effect negate, but it is a send or discard, so that would work in tandem if you had Eagle. So I feel like it's better mid to late game rather than early game. I doubt you can really get it out early game with an Eagle as well. But yeah, I personally don't like this card as much. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Swan. So this is a Fire Beast Warrior, level 8. This is a fusion. 2600 attack, 2200 defense. Requires 2 Beast Warrior monsters, so any of your 2 Fire Fist monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each Fire Formation spell or trap card you control. Pretty cool. So at most, I think you can do, what if you have 5 in back row? You can do 1,000 damage, so interesting burn there. During the battle phase, quick effect, you can send one face-up Fire Formation spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, then target your one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So that's not bad. It is slow because it is only in the battle phase, so normally what people try to do nowadays is, stop you from trying to get to your battle phase, or stop your monsters from entering the battle phase, like by popping them before they get there. So it is kind of slow with the battle phase part. It is another target and destroy, which, is pretty good. I also think this card's a little slow, just like the Ritual. I don't personally think, if I were playing Fire Fist, I would play this card. But yeah, I mean, the Ritual and the Fusion, I feel that those just aren't worth it right now. I feel like with the way you'd probably want to run Fire Fists, you wouldn't need these effects. Because one is during battle phase, and then one is only when your opponent activates a monster effect. So let's see what else we got here. So it looks like Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Eagle is getting imported, so that's pretty cool. As we know, Brotherhood Eagle is the one that lets you not pay the cost of sending your Fire Fist your Fire Formation cards. So that's actually really good that we're getting that, because it basically helps you keep your Fire Fist cards on, or your Fire Formation cards on field. Then it looks like we're getting another Link 2 here, Fire Fist Peacock, Fire Beast Warrior, Link effect, left and bottom arrows here. So decent, I mean, not great arrows. It's not like Eagle. I think Eagle has better arrows, obviously. But left and bottom's okay. It requires 2 Fire Fist monsters. So it is in archetype only. So no, shenanigans with anything else. While this card points to a Fire Fist monster, monsters your opponent controls cannot target this card for an attack. It's pretty good because it only has 1,000 attack. When this card declares an attack, you can send 1 face-up Fire Formation spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, then target 1 monster your opponent controls. Place that opponent's monster in a zone this card points to and take control of it until the end phase. But it cannot declare attacks this turn. So it's like a snatch steal. I mean, it requires you to send a spell and trap, but then you can steal one of your opponent's monsters, and then you can kind of link off into something better or higher. So that's pretty interesting. I kind of think that effect might be a little spicy, but it does require you to take an attack. So, I mean, if you declare an attack, I don't know. I feel like in battle phase it's just not the best. I feel like if it was able to activate, before battle phase, you could link up, before battle phase and, go into like a nightmare combo or something like that. It might be a little bit better. But yeah, other than that, kind of spicy, a little bit of a stat steal there. You can, steal your opponent's problematic monster, and then link it off into something better later. So let's see what else we got here. We have Fire Fortress on the Liang Peak. This looks to be like, a field spell. This card is always treated as a Fire Formation card. That's pretty cool. So that works with, what was I saying? The fusion. So you can have 6 on field, do 1,200 damage. Nothing crazy, but each time a Fire Fist monster is normal or special summoned, place 1 Fire Fist counter on this card. Once per turn, you can remove Fire Fist counters from your field to activate one of these effects. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool, because right now, with the cards we've seen, we can get multiple Fire Fists on field pretty fast. So you can get these counters on this card pretty fast, because it's not once per turn on the placing the counters. It's just anytime it's normal or special summon. So let's see what these effects do. 2 counters. If your Beast Warrior monster attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. That's actually pretty spicy. I feel like that might be one of the ones you use most. Obviously, because you're not going to really spam with a lot. But let's see what else we got. So 6 counters. Add 1 Beast Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. Pretty cool. Being able to search any Beast Warrior monster from deck to hand is actually really nice. 10 counters. Whew. Special summon 1 Beast Warrior monster from your deck or extra deck, ignoring summoning conditions. So that's actually the most interesting when you think about the fusion and the ritual, because it special summons any of them, ignoring summoning conditions. I do kind of like that effect if you were to play the fusion. And it's any Beast Warrior monster, so it doesn't even have to be the fusion or the ritual in archetype. Like, you can do any other good Beast Warrior monster that has been out. So that's actually really cool, and it just summons anyone. You would need the zone to summon it to, though. But that's actually still pretty interesting. I definitely think this card would be played solely because the 2 counter effect, just being able to stop your opponent from activating effects during during the battle phase, which is actually really good because that stops any shenanigan plays or crackdown, something like that. Something to stop a heavy damage to go through. Let's see what else we have. Fire Formation Domi. This is a continuous spell card. This is the ritual card, When this card is activated, ritual summon one Beast Warrior ritual monster from your hand, tributing monsters on your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed its level. If this face-up card is sent to the graveyard from the spell and trap zone, you can target one Fire Fist monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You can only activate this effect of Domi once per turn, and you can only activate one Domi per turn. So that's actually pretty cool. The being able to pop it to target a Fire Fist in graveyard and special summon it is pretty cool. So I mean, it works best in tandem with the ritual, obviously, but even not, like, even if you are just, you know, using it to have that you know, free special summon from popping it, that's actually pretty cool. And it just says if this face-up card is sent. So, like, you can send it from your own effects. Like, you can send it off of using, you know, your Fire Fist to send these cards. So it can work without playing the ritual, which is actually pretty cool. I like that a lot. Fire Formation InGen. This is a continuous spell card again. When this card is activated, you can fusion summon one Beast Warrior fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters on your hand or field as material. If this face-up card is sent to the graveyard from the spell and trap zone, you can target one Fire Formation monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And you can only activate one per turn. Oh, you can only use this effect once per turn. You can only activate one per turn. So that's actually really interesting here. It's definitely not as good as Domi being able to special summon one in graveyard, but being able to add one back to graveyard to do follow-up plays is actually pretty good too. Like I said, you don't need to play the fusion or the ritual to play either of these two, either Domi or InGen, because if you use them to send, you know, based off of your own Fire Fist monsters, you get that secondary effect to, you know, get that free summon or get that extra monster in hand for follow-up plays. So that's actually pretty cool that, you know, you don't need to play those cards. Ultimate Fire Formation Sinto. This is a counter trap. That's actually awesome. When a spell trap card is activated while you control a Fire Fist monster and a Fire Formation spell card, spell or trap, negate that activation, and if you do, destroy it. You can only activate one Sinto per turn. So that's actually pretty cool that they're getting an in-archetype counter trap that is searchable off of your monsters and your other spells and traps, which is actually awesome. It does require you to keep a Fire Formation spell and trap and a Fire Fist monster on field, so it's a little bit tight on that restriction. But if you have Eagle, you're not sending your Fire Formation spells and traps anyways, so that doesn't really matter. It just kind of like that free counter trap, that free advantage of just a negate, which is actually pretty interesting. I do like that. Maybe play it at 1 or 2 if you're playing the deck. I don't know about 3 necessarily, because you don't want to see it right away, because you want your other combo starters first. So that's pretty interesting here. Now we have some Fire Fist reprints. So we have Gorilla, Bear, Spirit, Rooster, Cardinal, Tiger King, Tenki, Tensu, and Yoko are all getting reprints, which is awesome. I know Tenki didn't have, I think it only had 1 printing or 2 printings. Yeah. And then we're getting some OCG imports as well from the rest of the set. Archfiend's Awakening, Archfiend's Call, Archfiend's Ascent, Archfiend's Manifestation, Latency, Swap Clerk. Let's see, what else is pretty interesting in here? We're getting Code Talker. That's pretty cool. Subterra Fiendus is getting a reprint, and Hidden City. Final Battle is also getting a reprint. Scrap Recycler is getting a reprint. I know that's was used in Orcus for a while. Majesty Maiden and Ignis and Dynamite Knight all getting reprints. Sloth and Goliath, pretty cool. And Chronograph is getting a reprint. Starving Venom and Cerberus. That's actually pretty cool. I play Pendulums now, so that's actually pretty cool for me that they're getting all reprints. I know Michael's playing Dracos, so he's probably happy to see those reprints. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about these new Fire Fist Fire Formation cards. I definitely think that some of these cards are pretty nice. Like I said, I don't think that the fusion or the ritual is all that great, but their cards to summon them are pretty decent. So maybe playing them. I mean, just being able to have them sent to net you that advantage is really nice, even if you don't play the actual ritual or fusion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these Fire Fist, Fire Formation cards, and even the new gadget cards. And leave a like below and subscribe if you like this content. John should be back soon, so don't hate. But yeah, thanks guys, and peace.